Hi and welcome to Rethink Dialog. In today's episode we're going to sit down with Casper Andersson, who is working with Sony PlayStation in the Nordics. Let's go and have a talk. Hi Casper.
Hi.
Thank you and welcome to Rethink Dialog. First question, as always, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, personal and professional.
I'll do that. My name is Casper, like you just said. I am the Nordic Community Coordinator for Sony PlayStation in the Nordics. My background is basically that I have a master's degree in marketing, international marketing and management. I used to work at IBM, also in marketing, and afterwards I came to Nordisk Film, who has the distribution rights on PlayStation in the Nordics. So that's basically what I do. In my spare time, I do play the drums. Not very good, but I try at least because I'm very much into music. And then I like to hang out with friends and family and
game.
Well, let me see about that. I game a lot. I actually do. So it's one of my great passions, along with other nerdy stuff as Star Wars and geeky stuff like that. I love that. Yeah.
Well, we love geeks. That's cool. Nordic Film has the distribution rights, which is kind of special when it comes to PlayStation in Europe. So tell me a little about why the setup is like that.
Well, the setup is like this because back in the days when PlayStation 1 launched, back in, I think it was 95, Sony had to choose between setting up a dedicated department in the Nordics, but the problem was they saw the Nordics as like one territory, so they couldn't really decide on which country to actually put this in, or should they put offices in each country here. So they went into, and then they seeked out Nordisk Film. Nordisk Film who already had movies and they had cinemas and they had music and so forth. So they had a lot of channels they could actually use here, especially the distribution channels, the sales channels and the marketing channels. So they set up at Nordisk Film and we got the rights back then and have had them ever since.
So I'm guessing that, from a marketing perspective, working with gamers has to be kind of like easy, walk in the park, or not?
I would wish that it would be that easy, and also I feel very fortunate for working for a brand that I actually love myself, and I also do a lot of gaming myself. I can see myself as the audience myself. But when that is said, it's not always easy to figure out what you should actually communicate and how you should actually market your products. So even though we have a lot of insights in how these different gamers, what they like, and because we're also very much alike, it is still very challenging to actually nail it the correct way, because these guys are also very, they're very demanding also in the product that we actually deliver, and if the product isn't up to standards for them, then it's even harder to actually market, and so basically,
So I would expect that you also have like quite clear influencers within the gaming audience.
Yeah, we do have influencers here. We've tried a lot of things in order to what do you say, in order to
activate them?
Activate these bloggers and stuff like that. But there is some YouTubers, some bloggers in gaming, but the unfortunate thing is that they don't have that many followers. Sweden is the best example, but they actually do have a lot of followers because blogging is a lot bigger in Sweden than it is in Denmark, and Norway, and Finland. So in Sweden we tried this. The only problem was that this is very honest. It was actually too expensive to get this guy, and also he weren't quite that loyal to one brand only, because it was just whoever gave the best offer, and we didn't really want to go too much into that one.
No.
In the other countries, especially Denmark, we've tried everything in regards to blogging, and this is not just in the game environment, but also like blogger moms as well, because we have some different products, some different games where we can actually activate these guys. So one example is we have a game called Little Big Planet, and basically this is you play a little teddy bear-ish kind of guy, and then you have to build your entire own worlds. But this teddy bear, Little Big Planet, he's called Sackboy. This is actually pretty cute. So we made some initiatives where these blogger moms could actually knit their own Sackboy, stuff like that, to aspire some conversation about this and some attention around the entire PlayStation universe as well.
So that brings us over to content marketing, because I'm guessing that content marketing is really relevant and valuable to PlayStation.
It is very, very valuable to us, especially on a local state for us. It's very valuable to do, especially creating our own content. That's something that we find myself, I find very dear. It's something we do a lot.
Okay.
And just to do some examples, we always try to localize the things that we actually have, and not just localizing and just the text and stuff like. Of course, we do that, and we always make sure that we adapt to our markets and all that. But where we really shine, in my own opinion, is on the social media part, where we do a lot of content marketing in regards to having scenes from having a game and making it take place in Norway, or making it take place in Oslo and Sweden and Denmark and so forth, and thereby creating this local feel to the game actually, and bringing the entire communication closer to the end consumer, especially on the social media part. And then we also put this out in the bigger campaign, the above the line material as well.
Right.
Do it like that. So yeah.
So I'm guessing. So in your presentation at Rethink Conf, you showed that you use Facebook as activation, and then you use Twitter to activate again on Facebook. So it's like reactions going across all channels.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Facebook, they've kind of tightened the organic spread. I mean.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much so.
I know.
And it has dramatic consequences for brands, because I mean, you before, like, I think 6 to 9 months ago, you probably had like 16 to 18% organic spread. Exactly. Now it's down to 6%.
That is true. And I've even heard that it's even lower, but it depends on the company you are.
Yeah.
The fortunate thing for us is that we have a very loyal fan base.
Okay.
Meaning we have a lot of people engaging on our page organically, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I did the figures the other day, and organically we are actually at the 16%. So we always have that one, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we've also, and this is just organically, when we put money into this one, we come up to about 40%. And this is on an average, actually. Sometimes it's more. Yeah. But we have seen this, and also it's a big concern for us, and also we took this up with management as well in all the different local countries, and we explained this about this reach thing, that actually, because in their mind it's just like you have 50,000, you have 200,000 fans. If we do a message, everybody sees it. It's like, it's not really the case. You know, you need to do something in order to actually activate these people, because they won't get it in their feed if we don't do something about this. Exactly. This actually also made me possibility to actually get a budget for this and just put out a lot of money on the advertising part. So, but it's going fairly well. But it has all to do with the content you also put out there. Yeah. How many people are engaging with this? How many people are actually wanting to see this in their feed? Actually, so.
I also noticed in your deck that you were saying that PlayStation used Snapchat as a brand. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is actually something that I'm very passionate about, even though it's a very new thing for us. Yeah. And we've been talking about it for some time. I've been using Snapchat myself personally for quite a while, and it seems like all my friends are using this, and I think it's a funny app, but I just saw this as a personal thing, not really like a branding kind of thing, or using as a brand. But now we actually started using this, and the way we use this is basically, well, the main reason why we're using it is due to the target group of Snapchat actually, and 80% of all high school students use this, and 1/3 of all people between 13 and 25 use this as well. This is exactly our target group. So I was thinking, this is actually pretty interesting. And also, the opening rate, now we're just talking about Facebook and the reach, 40% of that's not a lot. And this also has something to do with attention. So we only get the attention of 40% if we pay a lot of money. But on on Snapchat, we get the instant attention from 99% of all the users of this, because 99% actually open a Snap. Yeah. Which is awesome in my mind, because now we have like the attention instantly with these. It's like sending a mail which you need to open.
Yeah.
Because this is like a personal message from PlayStation to you or from a friend.
Yeah.
And also if the guys watching out there actually use Snapchat, there's something in you that you just want to open that snap. You want to see what this is.
Yeah.
So we have the attention that way. And we have different ways of engaging people here. We can actually sending a regular snap about something in the PlayStation universe and asking a question, is this a good gaming night? We're playing this, what are you playing? And just a good night from PlayStation, stuff like that. It becomes very personal for the end consumer.
Yeah.
And can also build a lot of brand loyalty here as well. And also it's easy just to activate people through competitions, send us a snap about this, because people find this very funny to use. Actually, just send us a snap. And also just unwillingly or organically, or what do you call it? People just send us snaps as well, and we get like 50 to 100 a day.
Wow.
Of these snaps, and we answer each of them. Actually, we do.
That's
so. I don't know if you want to hear about the nudity ratio and stuff like that. No.
Well, I've heard a lot about the nudity that exists on the platform, but
we're pretty lucky there.
Is there any way that you can measure it? So
currently, you need to do this manually.
Exactly.
So we have, basically we have Excel sheets. So we track how many followers, what's development here, how many snaps we get during a day, how much we send out ourselves. So basically we have these different numbers, and then we measure how much activity we actually have on Snapchat, and as well as the opening rates and stuff like that. But so, no system. No. Like this, no system exists. What I know of. So we need to do everything manually.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
So my natural question next is, how did you convince your boss to do this?
Sometimes this is actually the way this is set up. That I do have my own budget.
Yeah.
And it's also my decisions if I want to try out something.
Okay.
So I do a lot of. Yeah, you can call this trial and error. I do a lot of experiments, and I do these constantly, experiments on if we can use this, for instance, can we optimize on Twitter? Well, then I hired an agency. It's actually just two young guys from the IT universe. Could you do something cool here?
Yeah.
And they proved they could, actually. And they showed us a lot that we can actually use this in a very, very cool way. So now I actually, and then I make them make reports to me, so I have something to show to management like that. But I keep on doing all these experiments on different platforms as well.
Cool.
And the same we're doing now with Snapchat. And also because I deliver this with a lot of hype to the management. They were also pretty hyped about this, and they're actually beginning to understand this.
Yeah.
Also because I haven't really heard about a lot of other companies using Snapchat like very systematically.
Yeah.
And we want to be like the front figures for this one, because the central office isn't using Snapchat and will never do it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So we just want to show that we can actually use these medias in a different kind of way, and also integrate them with all the other media as well. And that was the last thing, and actually also one of the most important thing about the Snapchat thing is that you can actually flag other social media as well. So if you have a post on Facebook, for instance, and you want to flag that we have a post on Facebook about something important, you can just send a snap about this, just a screenshot of this, or neutral on YouTube and stuff like that. So I think it very much gathers it all together like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's the next big thing that you're gonna put your focus on?
Well, we're media-wise, we're actually thinking a bit about Vine.
Okay.
At the moment, and not just because, well, it's the last thing out there and something like that. No, more that I'm a big Viner myself. I love Vine. Not doing so many videos, but more and more just watching these videos. I think it's very cool. So this is like in a experiment kind of phase. What can we actually use this for? Is it just another media for us? But basically, the next thing for us is just to keep evolving on the platforms that we are, keep on growing our fan base, keep on thinking about the involvement, keep on thinking about the engagement, and having the main focus on the engagement part, actually also, and just keep on delivering good numbers.
Awesome.
So basically that's what we do.
Engaging the audience.
Exactly.
So personal questions at the end.
Yeah.
So what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Well, the thing about my past is I didn't really choose that much to go into the social part as well, because I got hired for something else. But it you can say it almost fell into my lap and then I got the opportunity to actually go into social, which I'm very glad for today, because I always liked the social part, but I never thought I would actually get the responsibility of building this for Sony PlayStation Nordic, which is amazing for me. I think it is amazing.
Yeah.
So this is like my dream job. Cool. And also because it's the social part, but it's also a brand that I actually love.
Yeah.
So if I should choose another job, well, it should be a brand that is as cool as PlayStation, and probably a brand that actually is able to push the boundaries even more and do provocative stuff, and actually have the guts to do stuff like it. That's very daring. Yeah. So that's one thing. But another thing that I always had in mind when I was a small kid was actually I wanted to be an architect. Oh. So I guess I've always wanted to create, build stuff. So if I hadn't ended up in this very boring social media PlayStation job, I would probably be an architect. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So that comes to the other question: which profession would you not like to do?
Well, my job is sort of 9 to 5, the way it is. But the difference here is that, of course, the hours are 9 to 5, but the difference is I get to experience a lot of things, and there's not a day which is actually the same. It always differs. So my fear scenarios is sitting in a job 9 to 5, doing the same every day, and just being satisfied with that. Actually just feeling like, well, job is a job, and then I have my life outside of this. I truly want to have a passion for what I do. I want to love what I do. I want to feel the joy of going to work, actually. So my biggest fear is getting too routine. Yeah. I'm guessing like that, actually. Yeah. So, and if it ever becomes routine, I'm not there anymore. No. So,
good answer. So last question. One word. What inspires you?
What inspires me?
Yeah.
Rethink.
Okay. Wow, you're the first one who's ever said that. Oh. Clever. Yeah. Why?
Well, it was probably also a cheap shot from my side.
Well, it depends on the answer.
Yeah, that is true. I need to think about this a bit. Rethink. No, I just think it's very important that you keep on, like I also told you about my desire not to be too settled, too routine. You always need to rethink. Can I do something different? Can I challenge things like that? And that's I think the word is actually pretty perfect to describe this, because I constantly try to challenge the things that we're working with, and never have the idea that we're just doing perfect. It can't be better, because then you've lost the passion, you know. Yeah. So you just gotta keep on, like, rethinking, get inspiration from others, and also let yourself be inspired. Never be too proud of learning anything, because a person's brain works in a way that it can always learn more. Yeah. And I'm also a strong believer in that you should keep on learning all the time. Always get new inputs, and also grasp, like, the opportunities that you have out there that you actually are handed to you. Exactly. Just like this one.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming to Rethink Dialog.
Thank you very much for having me.